I had to say, this is what he fucking gets, man. Like, I'm not surprised. Because if you watch my prediction video, I told you guys that this was going to be an easy ass win, an easy, unanimous decision win for Jon Jones. Why? Because he's too smart. He has too many weapons in his arsenal, and the foot reach advantage will be too much for the shorter, stubbier Daniel Cormier. Um, also said that if you watch the Rampage fight, um, you can pretty much see how this fight is going to play out. Man, Cormier had no chance from the start. As soon as the bell rang for round one, and I saw how slow Cormier's footwork is in the light heavyweight division, I already knew he lost this fight. I saw how slow his punches were when Jon Jones took his ass down in like the first minute with ease. The first takedown of Daniel Cormier's career, Jon Jones did it with ease in like a minute 15 seconds because he caught a slow ass leg kick thrown by Daniel Cormier and just pushed his ass to the ground like he was a fucking girl. You know what I'm saying? Like at that moment, those first the first minute of the fight, I knew Cormier had no fucking chance. He had no fucking chance. And I was telling my friend that was watching the fight with me, I said, man, I guess Cormier's footwork only looks good against bigger, heavier heavyweights. But when he comes down to 205, it looks like shit. Two things. Either he really didn't train as hard as he should have, which I doubt, or really his footwork isn't that fucking good. He won one round in this fight, and that's exactly how the judges had it, and that's how I had it, the second round, and it was a close round at that. I gave it to him because he kept landing the uppercut on the inside at will. Remember on my prediction video, I said that if Jon Jones is on the inside in the center of the ring with Daniel Cormier, then that's when Daniel Cormier has his only chance because he's letting him get close to him. Or Jon Jones is letting Cormier get close to him. And that's exactly what happened actually throughout the whole fight. But in the second round, Daniel Cormier had more stamina, of course, because it's only, the 6 minute of the fight. He had more stamina, so he was able to unleash more devastation on the inside. Now, I really think Jon Jones was proving a point in this fight. He did use his range. He did put his back up against the octagon, which I told you in my prediction video. That's also Jon Jones' strong suit. If his back is up against the octagon, that's where he really shows his takedown strength. He did that, but I think he was proving a point by being on the inside with Daniel Cormier. I think he was doing this shit on purpose to show you guys, number one, that he could take a hit, and number two, that Daniel Cormier is not stronger than he is. And we saw both of those facts in this fight. Man, there were a lot of fucking haters, man. I didn't have too many on my video, but looking at different blogs, MMA Junkie, Bleacher Report, SB Nation, looking at a lot of those different blogs, there was a lot of fucking haters on Jon Jones. And even at one point, Jon Jones was the underdog going into this fight at the odds. His odds were like plus 110. It was there for like a day. Then he jumped right back up to minus 170. But that shows you how many fucking haters he had. This was an easy fight to call. And it's not like I'm, uh, fucking, saying after the fight that I thought it was easy. I said this shit in my prediction video. It was easy to call. This was an easier fight than fucking Vitor Belfort. It's easier for him than that fight. And that fight, he almost got tapped out. You know what I'm saying? It was, it was exceptionally easier than the Alexander Gustafsson fight. And I told you guys also in my prediction video, the only type of fighter, I told you I had blueprints for Floyd Mayweather and I had blueprints for Jon Jones. And the blueprints are similar because the only type of fighters that will beat these two special type of fighters are special type fighters. Guys that have the same type of qualities as these two fighters. That's the only type of guys that'll beat them. Not short, stubby, overweight wrestlers. Okay, this is another thing I'll say. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Wrestlers cannot be real martial artists. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack on this statement, but it's fucking true, and we just seen it tonight. If you're a pure wrestler, right, and you go in there and your game plan is to wrestle, and you're fighting against a pure martial artist. Now, when I say pure martial artist, I'm talking about not the majority of UFC fighters. I'm talking about guys that actually study this shit night and day. They live, eat, and breathe their fucking craft of martial arts. We're talking, jujitsu. We're talking about taekwondo, different types of martial arts. Okay, if you're just a wrestler and that's your game plan, that's what you think you're gonna do against a pure martial artist, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose, and it's gonna be a big fucking, it's gonna be by a big margin, just like we saw in this fight. Jon Jones is a pure martial artist. How many different things did we see in his arsenal? He kicked the legs, he kicked the body, he stood on the inside. He threw knees to the body. He threw hooks to the body like he was a boxer. He threw elbows to the head. He did spinning. He did some shit where he came in with his body low and his elbow raised. His elbow was elevated, and he moved his body up and hit Daniel Cormier under the chin with the elbow. I mean, some shit I never seen before. He was doing all sorts of different shit because he is a true martial artist. All Daniel Cormier was doing the whole fight was rushing, trying to get in. Granted, that's what he had to do because there was a whole foot disadvantage in reach for him. But that's all he could do. Even if there wasn't a foot disadvantage, that's all Cormier is gonna do. He's gonna apply pressure. And he's gonna try to outmuscle his opponent because he's a wrestler. Yes, he's throwing strikes because they're in a fight, but the nucleus of his game plan is wrestling. That's not gonna beat a pure martial artist. That's why you saw this fight was too fucking easy. That's how I called it before the fight being too fucking easy. Man. Then on top of being the first guy to take him down, pretty much it looked like Big Brother picked up Little Brother and just pushed him to the ground. That's what Daniel Cormier's first takedown in the UFC looked like, right? On top of that, Jon Jones puts an exclamation point on it by easily taking him down 2 more times in the 5th round. Now, Daniel Cormier was fucking tired after the 3rd round. Shit, actually after the 2nd round because of all the energy he expended on the inside. And I think that was another game plan that Jon Jones had, was pretty much muscle him because he knew that Daniel Cormier wasn't that much stronger than him. So he used his ability, his strength ability, the underrated ability that I said in my prediction video. He used it against Cormier. Thus, it tired him out quicker. And that's exactly what happened. By the 3rd round, Cormier was tired as fuck. Jon Jones wasn't that tired though. He was still pretty much had more than half a tank. I'd give him like 3/4 of a tank left by the 3rd round. That's why you saw the arsenal that he was throwing at Cormier in the 3rd round. Then the 4th round just got worse. Then the 5th round was just like, damn, this shit is over with. If you were watching this fight and by the 4th round you weren't already saying this fight was over, then you were just, one, either a hater, two, don't know shit about MMA, or three, you were just hoping that Daniel Cormier did something. You know what I'm saying? That's the only 3 reasons. This fight was over after, in my opinion, this fight was over in the 1st round. But to be realistic, for my listeners and for fans of MMA who were actually watching, could have been seeing something different. This fight was over after round 3. It was. It was over. Okay. Then, in the at the end of the 5th round, Daniel Cormier is like hugging Jon Jones around the waist, and the fucking clock is still going down, and Jon Jones raises his fucking hands like, yeah, I'm done, I win, and the fight ain't even over yet. Like, he just fucking playing with the dude, yo. He just played with him. Like, this was too fucking easy. And then on top of that, he's raising his hands like, yeah, the fight's over, I win. Clock is still going. He turns around and punches him one last time before the bell goes. I mean, it's too easy. If you watch this fight and you still don't believe Jon Jones is the best MMA fighter ever, or at least the best MMA fighter today, then you snorting that cocaine. Like, for real. Crack is a hell of a drug, and you got a whole lot of it in your nostril right now if you do not believe that today. And I guarantee that I'm going to go on these fucking websites again, and I may even see it on my videos. I guarantee there's going to be somebody trying to make excuses for Daniel Cormier. I already know. But there's no fucking excuses. And Daniel Cormier, granted, they weren't able to interview him because apparently there was only 4 minutes left of the pay-per-view event by the time they got to Jon Jones, so they had to hurry up and get out of there, do their, their end sponsorships or whatever, and then go to the next telecast. But if they were able to interview Daniel Cormier, I guarantee he wouldn't have no fucking excuses. If he did, he would just be a big, complete fucking horse's ass, like straight up. You know what I'm saying? I already have lost a lot of respect for him because I can't stand a motherfucker that talks a whole lot of shit and doesn't deliver. You could have lost. It's okay to lose, but at least make it a competitive loss. Like Gilbert Melendez was talking a lot of shit about Benson Henderson before they fought, and he made it a competitive loss. You see what I'm saying? Don't talk all this shit, down downplay your opponent, act like he's not elite, act like he's not on your fucking level, run your mouth from motherfucking day one all the way to the fight date, and then go in there and get your ass mollywop. I have absolutely no respect for this dude at this point, man. It's just like in the streets. If two dudes are fighting, you know what I'm saying, and one dude has been running his mouth for like the past 15 minutes, talking about he's this, he's that, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And the dude that he's fighting ends up snuffing him. And the dude falls to the ground and just gets his ass beat for like 5 minutes. What you going to feel about that dude that got his ass beat, but he was talking all that shit prior to the fight? You're going to be like, oh, this dude is whack. And that's exactly how I feel about fucking Cormier. That's exactly how I feel about him. You know what I'm saying? Jon Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. He easily beats out Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva didn't even want to fight him. Kept asking Anderson Silva about the fight. This motherfucker, no, no, no. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? So easily beats him out. No question. I don't see anyone beating Jon Jones. I said this in my prediction video, and I have no reason to change it. Nobody can beat Jon Jones right now. The only one that has a chance is Alexander Gustafsson. That's the only one that has a chance. He just beat Anthony Johnson, right? And then he has a fight coming up with I can't remember his next fight, but it's coming up. But once he beats that dude, maybe he'll be back in contention. I think he's already the number one contender. But after his next fight, he wins his next fight. Maybe we'll see another rematch, and maybe we'll see a fight that's actually gonna be fucking competitive, and it ain't gonna be just some motherfucking fat boy talking shit before the fight, bumping his gums, trying to make people believe his hype, and then go in there and get your ass erased off the goddamn map. Come on, man. Let me know what y'all think. This is real shit, real talk for real fans. One.